All right, what's happening? Everybody's on the call. I see a bunch of people already jumping on. That's good. We're going to give everybody a few more minutes to jump on. I just didn't want to leave everybody here by themselves. BJ Ocampo, what's happening, pal? Okay, good. Let's. We're just going to give everybody a few minutes, and we'll get this thing started. What I decided I would do is actually, since we missed one last week because I was on the plane to Denver, anytime I go over time zones, I get all messed up on my schedule. But I decided that we'll do pains and solutions together today. They kind of should have been together anyway. Does everybody understand? Real quick, let me just make sure. But do I sound okay? No echo? We've had a lot of echoes. Hey, doctor, what's going on, buddy? Can everybody hear me? All right, good. Mike, what's happening, pal? What are you going to do in Georgia tomorrow, doctor, and where are you going to be? Oh, the marketing tips? Man, it's Tacoma? Dude, I scratched $5,000 in a lottery ticket. I live like within minutes of Tacoma. I don't know what you're doing up there, but hit me up on Facebook. If we can meet up for a minute, I'll buy you a lunch or whatever you want to do. I'm about 30 minutes from there. You got to go. If you're coming into Atlanta and you're driving there, you'll go by me. So just hit me up. But you know what I really took away from Denver is, one, you need to be consciously aware of social media. And, and I'm not going to name names or say anything about who's doing what products or any of that kind of stuff, because honestly, I've never looked at somebody's product that I didn't think I could do better. You know what I mean? But here's what I like about it. I like the fact that they just spent months putting something together that I can, read everything that they're telling me. And I pretty much get it pretty quick. I'm sure a lot of you on the call do too. And I'm able to kind of like take their 6 months of research and development, and they're like a paralegal, right? They got all the information there, and then I'll go into the courtroom with it. I like to take what they like. I always spin it. You always spin into something different. So, and I don't think everybody should be only looking at Facebook right now. Facebook's hot. Don't get me wrong, and I like Facebook. I'm doing all kinds of stuff on the side, playing around. But I think other stuff, Instagram, very cool. Did you know you can get somebody's cell number off of Instagram? Check out my email I sent out today. Everybody's worried about getting past gatekeepers. You can get direct cell numbers on Instagram. I mean, for that nugget alone, it's worth it. So anyways, let's get started, man. So see, we got pretty much everybody on here right now. We got a good number. Let's see. So in Denver, like just being honest real quick, I thought it was going to be. It was cool. I love going and seeing, everybody on your list. That's the best thing to do, right? But what was funny is where I thought, I had a lot of quality time with a lot of the members. But some of those big marketers were there, and them being able to see me work with the members and stuff, I got a lot. I kind of broke through on that side of it too, which was cool. So a lot of them, I got to meet a lot of pretty big name guys, and they'll fall. Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest. I'll listen. I'll meet those guys and hear what they got to do, and I'm an individual, so I'll just kind of, even though they're big marketers, doesn't mean they're great or right or the end all, the say all. I just like to listen to them, see what they got to say. Then I add a little Sid Michael on it, and then I think it's a better idea, right? All right. So not to start doing the old Les Brown preaching at you, telling you how to be an individual, but you shouldn't be afraid to do so, and just get everything that you're learning. Take what you're learning from them, and then put your twist on it, right? I'm teaching you how to become a closer. I'm teaching the anatomy of a sale, the psychology of a close right now. The only way that this information is not worth it is if you take this information and don't use it. You need to go out and start practicing it immediately, right? You need to be so bullheadedly arrogant that anybody that's ever told you, or even worse, if you've told yourself that you can't do it, you've convinced yourself you can't do it, you need to go out there and just try it. Just get on the roller coaster. You won't die when you get off. So, all right, I'm going to get started here. You see here where I put together pains and solutions. We're going to talk about it today. This here is super, super, super important part. This is like turn 3. I don't know if any of y'all are in racing or anything. You know, they say Earnhardt's coming around turn 3. This is turn 3 on the close, right? So you get past the gatekeeper. I did a whole call with David Sprague today. Maybe some of y'all were on it. But you get past the gatekeeper. You land the meeting. You understand the process and the road to the sale. But during that process and that road to the sale, when you're talking about pains and solutions, right? So I'm going to go ahead and give you the inside, but I think I'm going to remind you one more time. What's the secret to life, man? Don't forget it. 80% of life is showing up. So I already kind of told you a little bit about the mindset of sales. You know, just to kind of retouch on this one more time, realize like with reputation or with social media or any of this type products that we're doing, you know what I mean? Like they do need us. We bring the heat, right? I mean, it's a near catastrophe. Somebody with a poor reputation online, it's like having a dirty house. It's like having, you know, dirty hair. It's like not showering. It's a shame is what it is. You got to keep your side of the street clean. And by letting dirty socks lay on the internet with a bad reputation just drives me crazy that somebody would not see value in that. And you should know that when you're walking in the door. You're bringing them a solution to their bad hygiene problem. They're dirty little kids. They're like pig pens on the internet. You know what I mean? That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So, all right. So, go through and just make sure if we got any crazy questions real quick. Sherm, I think, can everybody hear me? Because Sherm thinks he lost me. Just want to make sure. Yep. All right. So in the mindset of sales, you got to realize when you're walking in, if you're talking, and I'm using reputation as an example because we can talk about any product and show where there's need. You got to have that mindset that this guy needs you, right? This person needs you. This person needs what you're bringing to the table, right? But the only way that you're going to fail on that is if you don't do. Here, I'm going to give you the silver bullet. You ready? Let me ask everybody what they think the silver bullet to sales is. What do you think the silver bullet, the one key part of closing a deal? Throw it in there. There's no wrong answer. Let's just see how close anybody can get. Show value, good answer. They're paying, good answer. Value over price, good answer. Listening, I like it. Solve their problem. Believing in yourself, that's part of it. That's getting out of your comfort zone. The silver bullet to sales, right here. Good interview. You know what the interview is? The interview is when you first sit down with them and you're building rapport. The interview is when you first sit down with them and you're just talking. You're just two guys cutting the fool. Two guys and girls, but whatever. I don't want to have to be politically correct on that stuff. But, you know, you're just hanging out. You're not talking. You're not closing them yet. You're not putting them, you know, in the close yet. So they're not on the defense yet. You're just asking inquisitive questions. So let's go through what a good interview would be. Obviously automotive, something that I pride myself with. Hey, Tom, how you doing? Great. Yeah, well, thank you for sitting down with me for a few minutes. Here's that coffee I told you I'd bring you. So how's business? Let's get started. I want to get a snapshot of your dealership so I can better serve you. Tell me how many cars you sold last month. Now, what are you doing while you're interviewing? You're wound up, tight as a rubber band. Everybody is. Anybody says they're not, they're lying. That's a fact, right? You've got an idea in your mind how you want this sales presentation to go, but it never does. You're going to have to make halftime adjustments, and things aren't going to go down exactly the way you wanted it. But there is the road to the sale process that you got to have, and you want to try and keep as close to that footprint as possible, correct? So you're sitting down and you're interviewing them. How many cars you selling a month? Man, that's nice. How many used cars are you selling a month? Then you can do the math on new, so don't ask them the new after they told you the total, right? How many, if you don't mind me asking another personal question, what's your average PVR on those cars? Cool. How are you doing in service? What's your average RO or turn in service? Write that down. You want to know you want to know these values, because what he's telling you, you're going to turn around and use them again. What can I do to better serve you? Like, what are you having problems at? What would you fix tomorrow if you could just snap your fingers? Right? And they're thinking, okay, if I was in a genie in a bottle, I could snap my fingers. Man, I'd really fix my reputation online. Okay. You know, you're not selling them anything yet. He's being honest with you. But when you go in to plant the screws in the guy and close him, which we'll talk about Thursday, when you go in to plant the screws in him and close him, you're going to use any information that you discovered in the interview to where the guy is going to have to contradict himself to say no. You see how friendly that is, but in a way calculated? That's real sales. Now, let me ask you something. For you to ask these questions, do you have to be a quick-witted, fast-talking stud? Do you have to be, you know, have the nicest suit in the world and be wearing cufflinks? Cleavage does help. Cleavage does get you that meeting a little quicker. That's just the truth. Now, confidence is the stage that you're portraying. I mean, you can go in without confidence, and they're gonna be scared, right? But once they see that you've been skilled, trained, and educated, they're gonna know you're confident anyway. Now, as you're asking these questions, you're relaxing a little bit. You're becoming friends. You're building rapport. You're doing a proper interview. That's all it is. You're interviewing them. You want to ask good questions. You want to find out their pains. Man, if I could get them to sell more used cars, I'd be ecstatic. Man, if I could figure out how to get myself ranked up better, you know, or get more attention online, it'd be great. I thought about buying some internet leads, but what do you think? Find out what the guy's pain is. Find out what the person's pain is, okay? And they're going to tell you what they are. Once you discover what those pains are, then you can start going into solutions and to the close. Okay? Everybody understand what when we're talking about pains. Give me some ideas of what pains you've heard are ways to get. See if anybody has any good answers out there. Give me some ideas of what pains you've heard, or what ways to ask somebody, hey man, what happens? And Mike Shipman just said, it also makes you the expert by the questions you ask. Agreed. Low gross, low closing, that's pretty common. No calls coming in from Craigslist posting, that's maybe a typical answer in some cases. Lost a lot of service clients. Not enough people wanting to buy, so you need help closing the customers. Okay, so let's just use that one real quick. Not enough people wanting to buy. Now, I would say, doctor, would you say that that's a salesman problem, or is it a quality of lead problem? Because if it's a quality of lead problem, you need to see what I got to show you. If it's the salespeople, then, you know, I'll refer you to a friend that does training. You need to retrain them. Sometimes it's an inventory problem. The point is in closing, you want to find out what their pains are, because they're going to tell you exactly what it takes to close them. You're going to know now what you're saying to them and what you want to focus on. If you don't find out what their pains are, then you're just talking at them. And that's offensive. It's insulting. And nobody likes it. You don't like it either. So you need to make sure you're having a conversation with them, because you're interviewing them. All you're doing is finding out exactly what they want so you can start monopolizing or monetizing, basically, in your own head on what they have. You start boxing them in. You start finding out exactly what it is. Okay, so they're basically like objections or issues. All right, so this guy needs to sell more cars. He wants better reputation. What am I going to pitch this guy? What am I going to tell this guy that I've got? Well, first, right off the bat, I'm going to show him how I can fix his reputation and get him to do more cars. How would you start giving them solutions on reputation? I might have got hit on some of these slides. Let's see. Oh, here, let's go over these notes real quick. Remember in the interview, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth? I hate to say that because my mom used to say that to me, but it's a fact. Everybody that thinks that closing is talking somebody into something, manipulating somebody into something, that's not true. Closing is the guy who listens the best. I promise you, you will find your sales close ratio skyrocketing when you learn to shut up, when you learn to listen. I hate saying shut up, but that's the truth. All right. Ask yourself this: what do people love to do? What do people love to do the most? Good job, Rebecca. Wow, I don't think one person got that wrong. You're right. They love to talk about themselves. So in the interview, remember that. Have them talking about themselves. You're building rapport. You're getting ammunition to rebuttal. You're giving ammunition to give them trial closes and to ultimately give them the close. Solutions. Let's go into solutions. So when you start going into a solution, you can only start giving somebody a solution to their problem when they've once taken ownership of their issue. Until somebody realizes, you know what, if I don't fix my reputation, I'm going to continually lose this money every month. Until somebody takes ownership of the problem, you're not going to build value in what you're about to give them. Their solution is going to be worthless. You have to give them a solution of value. So in the process of sales, once they take ownership, once they admit that it's their problem and it's their baby, right, for lack of better words to use, I guess, then you can start giving them solutions. And when you give them solutions, you got to build value in the price. Value over price equals sell every single time. So I'm going to use reputation once again. Did you know that 91% of the people that walk into a dealership have researched your vehicle or your dealership online before walking in? No, Sid, I didn't realize that. How many cars did you sell last month? 200. How many service visits did you have? 1,000. Well, just out of curiosity, knowing that 91% of them saw this 1.5% reputation, some of them probably didn't even read the bad reviews. A lot of them probably just saw the 1.5 stars. How many do you think were deterred and was told to move away, or went to the next place? How many women? I mean, I know women that'll look up reviews like crazy, especially like in a restaurant or something. My girlfriend looks at reputations everywhere before we go. Nothing's worse than sitting down at a restaurant and her finding a bad review before we order. I should have, did you know this restaurant has, this, and this, right? But you need to make sure that he takes ownership on it. Mike Whitman did, when he was in Atlanta, our Shipman did something really cool with me, and he was right. In order to get somebody to take ownership, oh, that's Tom in the internet department. He pisses everybody off. Great. Who does Tom work for? Oh, well, Tom works for Chase, the GSM. Great. Who does Chase work for? Well, Chase works for me. Great. So it's ultimately your problem. You hear that? That's a cool way to make somebody take ownership. So when you start giving them solutions, you want to start giving them solutions and understand this is where their trial closes start coming in also. 91% of the people have have seen your stuff online, blah, 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 they've walked into this dealership. You want to ask them, how many deals do you think that actually cost you a month? 10%. Remember, when you're talking into a high-paying niche like automotive, you can be humble and say, you know what, you're probably right. It probably is 10%, but let's use 5% just to be on the safe side to see if you're making a smart choice today. You hear that? Okay. So when you do 5% of 200 is 10 cars, and it's 50 service visits, right? 50 service visits times, let's just use 200 for round numbers. Say they're low in service. That's worth, 10 grand. And then you got another 10 grand in the 5 cars they missed. Or the 10 cars, you got another 20 grand. So this is costing you $30,000 a month. You're hemorrhaging $30,000 a month. Man, that's awful. I didn't realize I was losing that much money. So what have you done now? You have built value in your product. You've showed them what it's worth. You've got him to admit and to own up that it's his problem. You've heard his pain, and now you're about to give him a solution. But before you gave him that solution, you bought in. Before you gave him the solution, you got him to buy into what the issue is, right? To recover that 30 grand that your business is hemorrhaging, right? Bleeding all over the floor here. You're letting it leak out the back. What is it worth to recover that? Well, I don't know, Sid. What are you charging for it? Well, it depends on how serious you are about taking care of your issue. Did you hear what I just did? Anybody hear what I just did on that 3-step sequence right there? Put it back on him how? I answered questions with questions. Are you ready to take, it depends on how committed you are to taking care of this. Well, Sid, how much is that? Well, it depends on how committed you are on taking care of this. Well, I'm ready, but it just depends on what it costs. Well, what's it worth to recover 30 grand or start getting on, in the right direction to cover that 30 grand that you're losing? Not to mention the additional people that will, probably come in just because they like it. I mean, how can I put a number on it? I don't know. Let's talk about the work. You want to try and get them to speak the price first. However, if somebody nails you down and says, what is the price? Don't give them the bull crap. You know what I mean? Just tell them, 2 grand. My average service rate on that is 2 grand. Whoa, 2 grand's crazy, blah, blah, blah. Well, you never say, well, I can do it for 1,000 because I was hitting you at 2 grand trying to make a lot of money, right? You would say something like this. Well, I have a less attentive program that still works, but it requires action on your behalf. You see what I mean? And that way it's a different program. You can go with the 1250 program, but it requires your salespeople and you to get involved. I want you to spend $250 and give away a pair of Beats audio headphones to whatever salesman gets his name mentioned the most on Yelp or Google. Anyways, I don't want to get off the focus of what we're doing. So pains and solutions. Does anybody have a client right now that they've had a hard time getting them to give them the pain or the solution, and want to go live and we can role play or talk about it a little bit? If anybody has an issue or something like that, just volunteer and I'll gladly jump in. All right, we'll keep moving in case somebody gets brave a little later. All right, so let me look through the questions and see if we got some stuff. Hemorrhaging. A couple people are like, they like that word. It does. It sounds, it's aggressive, right? And nobody wants to be hemorrhaging. That's cool though, but that's exactly what they're doing. BGO Campo says use their own words to answer their objections, and you don't even have to read them the Miranda rights. No, that's right. Or even like even on when you're talking about reviews, use the customer's actual client names that left the bad reviews. Well, Miss Happy here seemed to be unhappy. Then that helps you make them take ownership, right? Because all of a sudden they remember Miss Happy. In fact, they're upset that she even put a bad review because they did so much to try and make her happy, right? So, all right, so there you go. So we got pains, solutions. When you start going over the solutions, now's when you want to start talking feature and benefit, because that's how you're building value in your product, value in your service. You want to give somebody a feature that they relate with and a benefit that they want. I'm going to give you an example. This car has air conditioning so you can stay cool on those hot days in the summer. So the person's like, man, I hate those hot days in the summer. It'd be nice to stay cool. I can solve your reputation issue so those 91% of the people that walking in the door will no longer be seeing this ick online. I can build you a fan page and do some email marketing and help your social, your social approach, so that way your clients aren't getting left in the cold after purchasing from your dealership. Man, I hate it when my clients get left in the cold. We do need to do some follow-up, right? Feature and benefit. If you're taking notes, write that one down, okay? That's very, 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 very extremely important. All right. So feature and benefit. Does anybody want to role play here? Because I want to do some sales stuff. I want you to step out of your comfort zone just a little bit. Let's see here. Doctor said something pretty cool. He said, listen, if we raise your reputation by 3/4 of a point, records show that it will increase your business 25%. That's good. You give them some stats. I'm a stat guy. I don't, I get most of my stuff off of NADA or Cobalt, but I don't know. I always kind of use stats. Somebody needs to be brave. All I want to do is just go through and I want to show like a proper interview and how to NADA. Which one? The 91%? I think NADA or Cobalt is where I may or may would not have would have read that. Oh, the 25% of rep? That's in the group, Rebecca. If you go in the Facebook group, everybody's got that. Somebody wrote all that stuff down. They figured out where what the points actually do. All right. My brave little New Yorker here. Let's see. I'll repeat it one time. If we raise the reputation by 3/4 of a point, we'll bring in a 25% increase in business. Somebody said David Sprague said something like that. We'll look for it, and if somebody finds it, post it in the group so we can make sure everybody has it. Rebecca or Andrea, thanks for being brave. I'm going to make you go live here real quick. Test 1 2 1 2 testing 1 2.
Testing 1 2. Can you hear me?
Brian gets mad at me. It's my webinar, so I can do it. But Brian gets so mad at me when I do that. I'm like, dude, you ever seen Step Brothers? Global. What is the name of the company? Global World Domination or something. Anyways. Hey, how you doing, Andrea?
I'm great. How are you, Sid?
Doing good. Now, Andrea, I know we've worked a lot together on the phone and stuff, and I know you kind of know how to land the meeting, and we've role played a ton doing that. But you've also walked in and gotten meetings using my Savage method and some other stuff, right?
I have. My biggest, what I need work on is closing it. So even my latest one, the one that I thought he was definitely going to sign, he kind of backed up. And yeah, he said, well, the brother, I had to meet with the brother, which is his partner, and another guy. And then when I followed up, he said it was a little bit too much. It was too much money. The brother, he was going to get back to talk to his brother. But bottom line is, I actually was off for like a week. I had family, and I really wasn't able to do much, so I haven't been able to follow up. But he kind of sounds like he dropped like a hot potato.
No, that's not true. You only drop like a hot potato if you give up.
Okay. Well, I haven't given up.
And if you're going to give up, I'm sure there's plenty of people who'd like to know whose name that person is, because you're not going to give up.
No, I'm not going to give up.
Yep.
Because I really believed that he was like so close to signing until the brother, who was like I told you, he was total opposite. He wasn't interested, had nothing to say, and he just said that it was too much money, that they're, small independent dealers and they can't.
And here's what you're going to do. You're going to call that guy up. You're going to say, man, that's a shame. I really, 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 really. Well, first off, you're going to call him up. If he doesn't answer, then what are you going to do?
Walk in.
That's right. You're going to go see him, and you're going to say, man, it's a shame that we didn't get a chance to work it out. I really, really, really saw myself working with you. Straight up, Andrea, what is it going to take?
Right. Okay.
And then shut up. First one to speak loses. And that guy's going to tell you. And, and then we can talk about some more stuff privately outside the call, but first one speaks loses. He's got to say it. And when he does, all you're doing is you're taking it right back down to solution and process and pain situation of the close. You know what I mean? Right. And you go right back through your trial close and then go into your close and delivery benefit and ask for a referral. Okay? All right, so let's role play a little bit on a proper interview. Now, do you feel comfortable trying to interview me, or do you want me to interview you?
It doesn't matter. It's all a learning experience, whichever one you want me to do. You want me to interview? I don't care.
All right. How about you interview me and then I'll interview you?
So you're the car dealer.
That's right. I'm the greasy car guy.
Okay. Good morning, Sid. Thanks for taking a few minutes today to meet with me. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. Just trying to get these guys to start selling some more cars. We had kind
Oh,
of a slow weekend.
slow weekend. So how many cars are you selling? About
Uh, Over the weekend, or
a month. How many cars are you normally selling about on average a month?
we're selling about 600 cars a year.
600 cars a year. You're gonna make me do math, huh? That's a side note.
That means he's embarrassed to tell you that he had a really crappy last month, and he's just going to average them out over the years, so that way he feels better about it. No, that's
Okay.
50 cars a month.
And how many is used?
About 20.
20. Okay. So, and you just said before that you're not happy with your sales.
Well, I got 350 cars out here. We've got 7 acres packed full, and I just feel like I should be selling more cars, or not have as many cars out here on the lot. I got to move this iron.
So, would you say that's more of a sales problem or a lead gen problem?
Well,
A
I mean,
quality lead gen problem?
I spent $2,000 with Auto Trader. I mean, I don't know how many more leads they got. I mean, they need to get on the phone and start calling their friends, don't you think?
2,000 with Auto Trader, and you're not happy with your results.
I mean, I guess I'm happy with the calls we're getting. I got to spend money somewhere, but I just don't know that we're really selling as many cars as we should. Maybe I should hire some more salespeople. I don't know.
Well, if you're hiring more salespeople, then you're thinking it's more of a sales problem, and you just said it was a lead gen, a quality lead problem. I could help you. I could solve your quality leads coming in. The sales training, I can get you phone calls for used cars if your salespeople can handle the calls.
Okay.
Would you be interested in something like that?
Well, maybe I should do something like that.
I mean, I could give you results also close, similar to Auto Trader for a fraction of the cost. If you have like another like 30 minutes, we could sit aside. We could either talk now or we could set an appointment for later in the week.
Okay. Good job. Good job, Andrea. Good job. Can you tell Andrea's skilled, trained, and educated? She's doing pretty good there. I was impressed. If I had Andrea as an employee, I would be trying to get her in front of as many people as possible. The only reason why Andrea would fail is if she goes a whole day without talking to somebody. That's a fact.
Okay, and I
All
did
right?
go a whole day without talking.
I know you did. That's why I said it. I can hear it in your voice. That took the
Yeah,
wind out of your sail that guy said you were too high priced.
he
Where
did.
in
I
reality,
mean,
it should piss you off.
well, I guess, but no, it frustrated me because of this. I'm like, it's just time after time I'm getting what I think is so close, and then I can't figure out what it is that I'm doing. So I said it's got to be the value over the price. I'm obviously not showing him value over price, or not just him, the other ones that have kind of just vanished,
Yeah.
So I
Well,
guess I've been trying to figure out, like, what is it? What can I do differently? I've been trying to listen to a little bit more, I guess, sales things or pitching people kind of stuff. And then, like I said, family was here for a week, and I had to entertain them, which kind of annoyed me because it took me away. But I
yeah.
just sent them back yesterday, so I'm back in the groove this week.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna interview you also, but just as like something to lead us into Thursday's call, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to also start closing on you after I interview you. Okay. That way I can get a full listen of this. And Andrea, I want you to be, I don't want to say a jerk, but I want you to be kind of irritable. Just like a bad customer, one of those rotten people that you're like, dude, I wish you would have woke up on a better side of the bed. You ever had those people you're just like, what?
So
What's
you're
your
the car
problem?
dealer.
They don't
You're
do
the
that.
car dealer on
No, I'm
the.
going to be the salesman. I'm going to be the person. I'm going to interview you. You're going to be the car dealer that's had a bad day.
Okay.
Hey, Andrea, Sid, Michael, how you doing today?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, how how's business been going?
Business is okay. Business can always be better.
Yeah, can it? I agree with you there. Got to always be pushing for better business. Hey, do you mind if I get a quick snapshot of your dealership just so I can better serve you? Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Do I have to answer them? Really? I don't really have a lot of time.
You don't have to have a lot of time. I just want to be able to. I just want to be able to provide you what you need, not what I want to talk about.
Uh,
You seem like a person that likes to get straight to the point, and by me
Go
asking you
ahead.
questions,
Go
it'll help you.
ahead. Ask. Go ahead.
Okay. So, how many cars did you sell last month?
350.
How many were used?
About half of that.
Okay. And what was your average PVR?
My average PVR, we just met. You're going to ask me what my average PVR is? Isn't that
You
a
don't
little
have to tell.
personal?
You don't have to tell me if you want. That means you must have a good one. That's all
Well,
right. We can use average NADA numbers. How about we use 2 grand? 2 grand
fine.
sound?
Fine.
All right. Let's use 2 grand. All right. So how are you doing in service?
Service is okay. We just changed managers, so really I have nothing to judge on with this guy.
I got you. Could you use more service clients?
Of course, I just told you before. We can always use more sales, whether it's sales and service or sales on the front end. We can always use more income.
Okay. Good. All right. Well, it sounds like it sounds like if you had a way to do it, you're ready to go then, right?
Hello? Of course. Of course. Aren't we in the
Okay.
business to make money? I'm in the business to make money. So, of course, if I had a way to make more money, I would be jumping on it.
All right. So I'm going to show you a way to get some unique leads that are exclusive to you into your dealership right now. That in return you're going to turn around and sell for. You're going to be able to sell more cars because that's what you want. Is that not correct?
How many times are you going to ask me the same thing, like 3 different ways, 4
I
different
just
ways?
want to make sure. But then we need to just go ahead and sign up then, huh?
Well, what am I setting up? You just said you were going to show me something, but you haven't showed me anything. You haven't told me what it is. All you keep saying is, I can help you sell more cars, but you haven't told me what it is.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you. I've got a process that I take your inventory and I post it over hundreds of web pages and listing sites and generate you phone calls that I track with a tracking service so you can see exactly the results that I'm bringing you each month.
Yeah, do you know how many people come in and tell me that? And I believe that we already have someone doing that.
Do it. Who is it that's doing it?
I'm not positive. I'd have to ask John. He's in charge of the used sales.
Okay. All right. Can we get John in here and find out who it is?
John's off today.
How many calls you get in a month?
I wouldn't know that. Like
Okay.
I said, I'm thinking of, though, we're selling about half our used cars. I mean, half of our inventory is used cars.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Right, so
So
I don't know. Does it make a difference how many calls we're getting if we're selling half our inventory is used?
no, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I mean, 175 used cars is a strong market. It sounds like you're doing a good job. It just sounds like I need to bring you more opportunities. Now, I know you got a lot of people that are walking here every day telling you that they can do that, but I'm going to actually show you the proof. Here's some call reports. Look at these.
Okay, great. But this
Here's
isn't local.
109 calls in Boston. Here's 371 calls. Good phone up. See that? 17 minutes, 21 minutes, 3 minutes, 6 minutes. These are bona fide sales calls. These aren't calls and hang-ups. These are
Okay,
opportunities laying in front of you.
I'll give you that, but that's for Boston. And
Yeah.
we're, my,
I mean, the cars are different where you're at. I mean, what do you mean that's in Boston?
well, this is Long Island.
I know, and you got a bigger city here, so you'll get better results.
That's what you're saying.
That's something to look forward to, isn't it?
Sure, I'd look forward to it, but like I said, I don't know how many people come in here. It's like a revolving door here on the uh, solicitors that come in here trying to sell services.
And you know what? And I totally understand. A lot of them are trying to tie you into contracts and keep you all tied up and really cost you your time and money. Let me show you what I can do. You can see here where I'm working with other dealerships. It's been successful. I can also tell you that I do no contract. The reason why I don't do a contract is because if I don't earn my keep, if I don't provide what I promised, I want you to fire me. I'm like a salesman. I'm either going to make you money or you can let me go.
Okay, so you have no contracts. If I don't see results in 30 days, I could just stop,
Get rid of me.
get rid of you, kick
And
you
here's
to the curb.
It's exactly right. And here's the way it's going to work. We're going to sign up today. And until I actually start it's going to take me a few days to actually go through the setup. I'll go ahead and waive the setup fee. But it's going to take me a few days to get through to the setup. Once it sets up, that's when your billing starts. So day one, when ad one goes up, you and I together, we're going to track this and see who's getting phone calls in 30 days. If it makes sense at the end of the game, you're getting a good return on investment, I got some other things I want to show you too. If you're not getting return on investment, then we'll walk away.
Okay, so what is it going to cost, though? You never told me the price.
$350 a week.
$350 a week? That's like $1,500 a month.
That's nothing. You sell one car, you're going to get more than that.
Yeah, but if I sell one car, I have to sell one car to you and one car to Auto Trader and one car to this service and one car to that service to make up all this money. I'm left with nothing.
What were you thinking?
I really wasn't thinking. No.
If I could sell you if I could sell you 4 to 6 cars extra a month, what's it worth to you?
Yeah, okay, that's it, and I know that's it. Because yes, once you ask them what they're thinking, yes, it's worth the $1,500. I'll sign. I'll try you out.
All right. So,
yeah.
Yeah, good job, Andrea. And I know you were acting like everybody you've been talking to, right? Because you
a combination plus you
finally
said
I get to be that.
You said be a jerk, so yes,
No,
it was a combination of everything I've walked into, and then yes, in the end, see how when you just put it like, what's it worth? Yes, how could they have to answer something? Well, what were you thinking? They have to give me an answer.
That's right. We need to be practicing this every day, and you've got my number, and you know we've got a coaching situation, so you should call me every morning. There's no reason that you shouldn't. I know you had your family last week, but
okay.
All right.
Yep.
Andrea, you're awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you spending time with me.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, so we'll mute her back. All right, so did anybody learn anything from that? Did you see the control of the conversation? Did you see? Don't let them get you upset. Agree with them sometimes when they're beating on you a little bit, right? Agree and say, "Oh yeah, you're right. You must be killing it if you don't want to share your PVR, right?" These people are not going to eat you. They're not going to beat you. They're not going to whip you or hit you or yell at you. And if they do yell at you, who cares, right? You need to go in there, make friends, and move forward. So, staying on track here. I'm known to start blabbing a little bit. In the sales process, you understand a proper interview in the beginning to get their pains first. Do not close before you get their pains. Don't give them solutions before getting their pains, because it's a friendly conversation when you're getting their pains. Once you convert to the solutions, the closing game is on. The walls start getting a little closer, the room gets a little darker, and they start getting what I used to call boxed in. You got to box the guy in. You're starting to take all his outs away from him. You're starting to shut the doors around the room, right? The guy gives you 3 panes, so imagine a square room with 3 doors. And when you realize each of the panes, then you can see the doors. And when you give them the solution to each of the panes, you get up, you shut that door. You get up, you shut that door. You get up, you shut the last door, and then you sit down with the guy and you ask him for his business. You need to tell yourself when you're walking into a dealership or dealing with anybody, I'm going to get a deal regardless of what it takes today, even if I have to do it for free or for $1. I'm closing somebody at something, right? And don't accept, you're just too expensive and my brother doesn't like it. Well, great. What price would you pay? Great. What price do you want to put, be at? Oh, too expensive? Okay, so you had a price in mind. What were you thinking? You see what I mean? So those are buying signals. Those are not turn downs. Anyways, I don't want to start preaching. But kept that just under 50 minutes, 45, 50 minutes. That was a good call. I hope everybody got a good some good information out of this. We'll finish up Thursday. We're going to talk about closes. Okay, everybody bring their best close. I want you to give me some ideas, use some stuff, and I'm going to show you some good closes too. Okay, I appreciate everybody's time. Get out there and do something. 80% of life is showing up. When you wake up tomorrow, Who are you going to wake up as? Who are you ready to be? Are you going to be the person that's making excuses or the one that's out there getting freaking rich? Rock and roll, guys. See you, everybody. Bye.